morning from a very rainy Jerusalem. We are here in front of the Prime Minister's living space. Now, it's a Friday, and even though it's raining, and it was raining yesterday, and it was freezing cold, everyone still appeared here, despite, how freezing it was for them.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yay. We just did an almost one take for all of the all Israel news prayer points. I'm actually thinking that this isn't actually legal. I'm not sure that they were allowed to actually come here on the street because it didn't actually turn up on the list of protests for today. So I assume they're just deciding that they're going to shut down the center. It's very intense here. The feeling here is sort of a feeling of desperation because people can't stand the fact that there are still hostages there. Many want this war to stop, not because they don't want Hamas to be destroyed. They want Hamas to be destroyed. They want the hostages back, and they believe that the hostages are being put at risk because of the fighting in Gaza. And so it's a very complex situation. The negotiations between Phase 1 and Phase 2 have failed, if you will, and there wasn't any continuation of them that was satisfactory to either sides, and so the fighting continued. But it needs to be clear, the ceasefire was not broken when the IDF decided to launch. The ceasefire was broken when Hamas did a few different things. They broke the ceasefire by bringing in ammunition via drones through Egypt. That's one of the things. They fired rockets that launched from Gaza but failed and fell inside of Gaza. And they also, Hamas set explosives on the borders in case there was a ground maneuver that the IDF would get hurt. So this ceasefire has been done a long time ago.
לחזור לגרמניה, ירושלים שייכת לפלסטין, לעשות חלוקה צודקת, לתת את הארץ הזאת.
אז אתה בעד או נגד העסקה?
זה הכל אדמה של אסלאם.
ראש מה צריך? לדבר עם הציבור, שמח.
אני אומרת שהגיע הזמן שנפחד, שנפחד. אתם צריכים להתבייש, אתם עם כפייה,
משותף, אבל אנחנו גם הגענו לכאן.
מה את מרגישה?
אנשים פה רוקדים על גופות של יהודים. זה פשוט בושה שהם יכולים לקרוא לעצמם יהודים, כי זה לא יהודים, זה חמאס וצריך להרוג אותם. אחרי כל החיילים, אחרי כל החטופים, אחרי כל מי שרצח למסיבה ומת, זה בגללם. ועכשיו הם וכל חמאס רוקדים על הגופות. אני מכירה הרבה, יש לי ידיד טוב שאחותו נרצחה בנובה, ויש לי חברה טובה שאח שלה נרצח בה, הוא היה חייל.
הכאב הוא כאב משותף, אובדן הוא דבר נוראי, ואף אחד בחלקת אדמה זו לא אמור ולא אמורה לחוות אותו. אלפים מתו בטבח הנוראי שהיה בדרום, ועשרות אלפים מתו בעזה בגלל ההפצצות. פה ושם בעזה יש אנשים שרוצים עתיד. פה ושם יש אנשים שרוצים לחזור לבתים שלהם.
אני רוצה שנפתח בדקה דומייה לכל החטופים, החיילים.
מי מממן את זה? מי מממן את כל זה? מי משלם לכם כסף? מי קנה לכם את החולצות? מי מממן את זה? תתביישו לכם! אנחנו בירושלים, אנחנו ערב, אנחנו לא בקפלן! סליחה, אני מותר לי לעמוד ברחוב ולצעוק מה שאני רוצה.
הם רוצים להרוג, זה שם שונא להכל, זה
אני לא בני אדם, אני לא יכולה לצעוק, אבל אני לא...
אוקיי, אז מה?
אני יועצת משפטית של קרן השקעות הגדולה במדינה, אני מבטיחה יותר מראש הממשלה, אני לא צריכה שישלמו לי. אני פה במקום להיות בבית ולנוח ולעשות מלא דברים אחרים. אז מה? אנחנו גם רוצים
אלא גם של ילדים עזתים, של חטופים, רוסים, ששינוי המציאות היחיד שלנו מאז ה7 באוקטובר הוא בו היום כדי להגיד לא.
Stand sort of in the balance of between what it is to defend our country and what it is to love our enemy. And this behind us is, I think, maybe if I'm allowed to give a personal opinion, sort of an attempt at doing that, an attempt at seeing both sides, an attempt at peace. And you guys can also pray if you see this protest, because there's a lot of hurt feelings here amongst the people, and also a lot of divide within the people. I can see from the stage that they really are bringing in both sides of the picture. They're bringing in the Palestinian side of the Gazans, they're bringing in the Israeli side, and I think it doesn't quite compute for people to see such signs in the middle of the streets of Jerusalem. Usually you would see these types of signs, you know, in abroad, in different places. You don't usually see it in city center Jerusalem, and a lot of people are confused about what they're seeing.
הערב אפשר גם קצת לנשום לרווחה. אחרי יותר משנה תלוי בנו, ואנחנו חייבים להמשיך לצאת, להפגין ולדרום.
יימח שם הגרמנים והנאצים שלא מביאים לנו מספיק מימון.
And also from the stage you can hear people that are talking about the Arab Muslim hostages as well.
I think that this agreement is very bad because he is raised the spirit of all the murderer in the world, especially in the Middle East. He raised them because they see that what they've done is welfare. They don't care about the damage of houses. They don't care about loss of life in Gaza. They only care loss of life in Jews. And they did a very good job and they stayed on their feet. So who made this agreement? I think he is build the next war.
איך את רוצה לעשות שלום איתם? איך? אני מנסה להבין אותם. איך אפשר לעשות שלום בהגדרה?
אתה רוצה באמת להבין?
כן, אני רוצה להבין.
אני רוצה שאני אוכל לגדל את הילדים שלי פה. שאני לא אצטרך לשלוח את הילדים שלי לצבא, ושהילדים שלי לא יצטרכו להתמקע בצבא ובצבא. הדרך היחידה לעשות את זה באמת, אם יהיה שלום. אין דרך. אז מה, אנחנו נמשיך במלחמות ולמות המלחמות? אז מה נעשה?
מדינת ישראל, נכון? אומרים מדינת ישראל, ערבים הם לא ישראלים, הם ערבים.
So an opinion that I just heard now from a person that's sort of behind me, he was talking about, I had 8 of my friends die in my hands. How are you asking me to have peace with them? And she asked him if he really actually wanted to hear. And he said, yes, I do actually want to hear. And so that's an example of a dialogue that can actually be had between two people. Even in this environment, not everyone is willing to talk, but some are.
אף אחד לא חשב שיש שלום. היה מלחמות מטורפות, באמת, הייתה מלחמת עולם, כאילו אנשים שכנים, אחד של השני,
הלוואי שאתמול בערב.
והיום אפשר להסתובב באירופה, אתה יכול לעבור במדינה.
אנחנו שמחים היום, אחרי הרבה זמן שלא שמחנו, אבל אנחנו לא יכולים לעזור כרגע.
What's your opinion about what's happening here?
I'm against the deal. I think I would be so happy to see my hostages back, but I think many death occasions was gonna happen. So I don't think it's worth it. Not in the terms of the deal right now.
Are you a part of the protest?
No, I'm against. I'm arguing with this nice guy over here.
So what are you against in the protest?
I'm seeing here people that don't know Islam, don't know Arabic, and they say we both have the same wishes. How do you know what the enemy wishes if you don't know even his language? I know the language, so it's very funny. So I'm very sorry for them. I passed by, and I was like arguing with this because it's made me mad here in Jerusalem. That here in the street we had like terror attacks in the past and stuff like that. So you know. So I'm very sad for the people.
You say that you know the language. What do you understand that you feel they don't understand?
You can read their news. You can see they're happy. You can see nobody is like, oh, I'm gonna get my home back. No, I'm happy. You can see videos online. I don't have to tell you. You can see they're like, I'm happy. I'm gonna send my kids again. I'm gonna have 7 in October every year. I can show you. It's not like hard to find.
From the stage, they're calling for a new Middle East. They're calling to stop the war. They're calling to stop the violence. These are the voices that we're hearing from the stage. What's happening in the crowd is completely a different story. There's a huge disagreement here upon what violence actually is. Do we need to stop the war? Is this hostage deal a good deal or not? And so you can see there's just a lot of turmoil happening around.
אם היו אונסים את אחותכם אישית, לא הייתם באים לפה, לא הייתם חושבים לבוא לפה. You see those people? You see those people that come to protest today? They live in Tel Aviv with all their fancy cars, and they have no clue what's going on in Gaza. They say they want peace with the Arabs. So I asked one of them, here, they see this guy, also this lady, she lives in Tel Aviv, and I asked her, what did I ask her? I asked her, miss, do you want some Arabs coming into your building? No. Why no? Because they're dangerous people, but they do want peace with dangerous people. Probably they don't have a right answer. Goodbye, thank you very much.
I'm here today because I believe in peace and I want the hostages to be returned and for the genocide to end. Peace for me is people not killing one another.
So do you believe this, what some would call a war, is a genocide, and can you explain why?
I do believe it's a genocide because I think it's ethnically motivated, and I think it's very targeted and not equal. A war implies that there's like this equal battle, and this is not that.
How do you talk with people that disagree?
You and your scumbag friend.
A lot of people don't want to talk. When people do want to talk, I listen. I talk, I share my feelings, I listen. But I found that a lot of people don't want to talk.
Is that I'm very, very concerned that the Netanyahu government is going to settle for only the first part of the deal and then shut down the whole thing. We demand that all hostages will return, and we demand a solution, a long-term solution, working towards a peace agreement between Palestinians and Israelis to include Palestinian state.
Do you believe that the Palestinians truly want peace? Because many are of the opinion that they don't want peace.
I am having a hard time with the they part. Of course, Hamas doesn't want peace. I think that there is a solid part of the Palestinian population and a solid part of the Jewish Israeli population that wants peace, and if we stand together, we can achieve that.
Thank you so much. Truthfully, I'm not really into politics that much, but I am for humans. And so if you are a person of faith, a person of prayer, a person of good wishes, send them our way, because Israel is in a very tense time in which a lot of the people are extremely divided because they're not sure what to do with the government that they don't agree with. They're not sure that democracy is being upheld. And if you believe that, that's a very difficult situation to be in. On the other side, it's also difficult when you believe that Hamas should be taken down and that the war should continue for the sake of the security of all Israelis. And you believe that a certain group of people is preventing that from happening or wants to prevent that from happening. So I'm showing the spectrum of opinions. I'm not necessarily taking one side or the other. I come to you guys a lot, from protests. Either I'm covering for All Israel News, or I just happen to be in the city. And it's just very heartbreaking how every single time you see the same faces of the hostages. Some of them are no longer because they've been murdered in captivity. Some of them have been released, but there's still 59 of them still there. And they believe that only maybe 24 are still alive. And so that's a very heartbreaking statistic to encounter, because they have been, protesting for their return for a year and a half, and they still have the same signs there. And so I could just say on a personal level that it's very, very disheartening and very discouraging. Here's the sign of one of the Hohen brothers, which his brother came out of captivity, but he said that the brother that remained there is in a really, really, really bad situation. Like physically, he's in real danger, as well as the other hostages that have also been. So a lot of the other hostages, of course, are being tortured. They're being beaten, they're being starved, they're being humiliated and abused. And if you want, go and seek out the interviews that the hostages that have returned, what they say from their own mouth. You don't have to hear it from me. Hopefully one day I'll be able to come to you guys with better news from a better place. But in the meantime, this is me from City Center, Jerusalem. If you're new here, this guy is really against Bibi. Anyways, if you are new here, then welcome. Feel free to subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. And I will see you guys in a vlog very soon.